Hello and thank you for joining me. In this video tutorial we will discuss how to sell advertising within your digital publication. Now there are ways to do this both outside the magazine itself and within the magazine. Your advertisers are automatically onto a winner when they're advertising in a digital space because it makes their ads an awful lot more interactive than before. They can have various interactivities such as links to web pages, calls to action such as buy now within the advertisement. They can also have animation within their advertisement, as well as the ability to embed radio adverts throughout the magazine and also to have video as part of their advertising promotion. Let's start outside the magazine itself. Let's take a look at this sample Super Bowl. You can see that this area of the magazine has been dedicated to banner advertisement. Now instead of using this to enforce corporate brand, which this client has done today, we can sell that space to our advertisers and we can place their advertising graphics on a rolling interval timer. We can also click on these graphics so that it makes them interactive and we can link out to the web pages that are associated with each advertisement as well. The second area that I want to speak about in this background area is this area, which we call the introduction area. This client has changed our standard default intro to apply and enforce their brand with a graphic, but you can do so by selling premium advertising space here, which will appear when the magazine first loads to the end reader. Now let's look within the magazine itself. The next sample, Manhattan Bride, has applied custom animation to a full page ad here on page 2. So this is where you can see your animation applied to a flat graphic image. Let's now take a look at another magazine, the Malibu magazine, where you can see how they have used video advertising within their magazine itself. Here the client is presented with a Vimeo icon and they're told that they can click on this to check out the cover shoot. Now you can see how this could equally be used to sell advertising videos within the magazine. And of course the end reader has full control over whether or not they want to watch the full advertisement or not. It's important to point out that you can embed video files within the magazine in specific areas, but you can also link out to video files that have already been created and are available on YouTube and on the Vimeo channels as well. There are two different areas within the software where we can apply our advertising. The first is in the Design tab, under Appearance panel. Here we can choose to have the magazine of type normal or skinless. Skinless takes away that option to have your top banner advertising appear. So for today's example, we'll choose normal. That allows us access to the top banner area, which we have enabled. And when we do so, the system will prompt us to select where we want those graphics to be taken from. Now each of these graphics can also have an associated link. So for example, on banner number 2, I'm going to link it to a web page. And on banner number 3, I will also link it to a different web page. Okay, I won't apply it to all of them, but you'll see that at least those two will become interactive today. We also have a timer here at the bottom, an interval timer, which determines on how many second intervals all of these will rotate, and we can change the ordering of these images if we choose to do so. So that's our top banner advertising. The next area that we discussed was the introduction area. I'm just going to move away from using the default today and choose a custom image instead. Now I have to decide where to find that on my computer. And I've called that Advertising Introduction. Okay, the other area that we could choose to use, if we like, for advertising is that custom preloader. So I've chosen not to use the default 3D issue image, but rather to use this little space to sell advertising as the magazine is loading. So choose custom and then tell the system what image you'd like to use. Again, let's draw that from our system. And I have an advertisement which has a koala picture as my preloader. Now you'll be presented with these graphics by your advertising companies. Alright, so far we've talked about how to apply the banner advertising at the top of the screen. We've also changed the little graphic that we have on our preloader to show you that that area could also be used for advertising space. And we've also used the introduction area. We've changed that to show you how that could be sold as perhaps premium advertising space also. Let's just preview those changes before we begin. Now the magazine, you see how you can place an ad here in the custom preloader. The introduction area is here. And you can see that my banner advertisements are appearing at the top of the screen. And because I'm in preview mode, when I clicked on the banner advertisement, it would not allow me to pop out to the web page. But that will happen when you've built your magazine. It will actually allow you to directly link out to the web page that's associated with that banner advertisement. Okay, let's move on and talk about how we embed all of the interactivity within the ads that you can place within the magazine. All of the interactivity can be applied here in the interactive panel under the Design tab. In here, I will give you an overview of what can be applied to advertisements that are placed within the magazine. However, we have much more detailed video tutorials that deal with each area. For example, I mentioned the fact that you could apply a web link within a full page or a half page advertisement. This can be applied either as a hotspot or a button directly beside the magazine advertisement. The next thing that I talked about was the ability to have them call to action, such as placing an order, and you can do so using our shopping cart button. Now, as I mentioned, there are separate detailed video tutorials on all of these features, so please do revert there. The third thing that I talked about was the ability to embed or to link to videos, either by presenting them as a pop-up pane on the screen, like we saw with the Malibu magazine, or by embedding them in a specific area of the magazine where we'd like that video to play within the page, rather than taking up the entire page. Another area that we discussed was the ability to embed an audio file, and this can be very useful for selling in radio advertisement into the magazine. And that concludes this section on selling advertising within your digital magazine. Thank you for watching.